So we're going to take our first question. That comes from Molly, and Rocky, if you will answer the question. My husband is in the hospital, but our insurance company is denying the claim because we were behind a payment when his injury happened. It was only a week past due, and I was told it would be okay. Can they do that? And the question comes from Molly.
Well, Molly, I'm sorry to hear about your husband being in the hospital. There's a statute in Mississippi that talks about you usually get a grace period of sometime a week or more for a late payment to get in before you'll get cut off. They can't just do it on the day, that it was due. They usually have to give you a little bit more time. And then going back, to law school, the check is considered, when you drop it in the mail, it's considered received, because if you didn't have that rule, then everybody would say they didn't get the check in the mail. And so those two things should give you some sort of relief. But the big thing here is, if your insurance company got that payment, but they still wrongfully deny your health insurance claim, what they may do is open themselves up to punitive damages. And those are damages above just the medical bills to compensate your husband for his treatment in the hospital. Those are to punish and to deter conduct. We all remember the John Grisham movie where Great Benefit Insurance denied the claim. It's The Rainmaker was the movie, and they deny the claim, and then they get popped with 50, 100 million in punitive damages. Patrick, punitive damages are one of the few rights that Mississippians have left to try and level the playing field with these insurance companies.
Rocky, that's absolutely correct. And it's instances like this where you find out that an insurance company actually did get the check and then sees that there's a claim and there may be some wiggle room, and you later find out, no, they're wrongfully denying this claim. I want to go back, Rocky, to something you said early on, which is you get a grace period. What you're supposed to get, Rocky is absolutely correct. What you're supposed to get is a letter. And that letter would say, if you don't pay by this date, even though you're late, if you don't pay by this date, then we're going to cancel your insurance. So if you did not get a letter that said, hey, you missed your payment, but you're not canceled, you're going to be canceled in the future, and here's the date you're going to be canceled, you had a right to that letter and to that notice. So you need to look to see if you got that letter. If you didn't, you need to go see a lawyer, because an insurance company can't cut off your insurance without sending you notice that there is a date they are going to terminate that insurance and give you a chance to make that payment.
Okay. So is there a statute of limitations for, the follow-up that you're referring to, Patrick?
Well, I don't know if there's a specific statute of limitations. I just know that there is a grace period that insurance companies are required to give. I don't know if it's a week, 2 weeks.
Okay.
I do know that I have some good friends who are insurance salespeople, and I'll call them all the time and say, hey, if I didn't get a payment or something, they said, you're fine. You're going to get a notice that says when it's going to be terminated, just get your check in before that notice. And but I don't know if there's a statutory grace period. Do you, Rocky, know if there's a statutory grace period?
I remember there being one. I think it's a week or more. Let me tell you one thing that you said, or the question had, that they were told it would be okay. And the way I took that is, like Patrick saying, that the salesman told them it would be okay. To all the viewers out there, you need to know that if you ever get crossways with your insurance company, the insurance company is going to run away from their agent. They're going to say that what the agent said didn't matter, that what the agent said didn't bind the company. The biggest, most recent example of that is during Hurricane Katrina, when people were told that they had full coverage and there was a hurricane. And then they said, well, when we said full coverage, you didn't mean full coverage. We didn't cover wind-driven water. We didn't cover flooding. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. And you had to read the fine print when the agents had assured them they had coverage under their policy. So you got to be careful, because the agents are salesmen and they're good people, but they're not going to always be able to bind the company if things go wrong.